Greetings, comrades. Let's try this for like the third time. Since the last episode, got a big old comment about why the Republic loyalty would be so low. The first thing that I heard was in here, as we can see, Romanov, Gromyko, and Grishin all are pretty powerful. Romanov especially so, then Grishin, then Gromyko. Now, apparently, what I'm supposed to do is put pressure on these people, because otherwise the opposition grows. Now, the actual opposition stat is very low, but I'm going to assume it's a direct effect. And so what I heard is that first should be Grecian, because him also being powerful means that your corruption goes up. And I don't know that much about Grecian historically, but apparently he was a guy that was caught in several frauds. So we're going to go ahead and put pressure on him. I don't know what's happening now. There's a little, looks to be a medical bag right there. But we put pressure on him. And so I would assume the medical bag means that we stop it. Well, other stuff is that we should indeed start putting money towards other social spending, so we're going to increase that to 200. And then what I also saw is that in the statistics menu, the housing went down just a little bit. So if you can get that up, hopefully that'll help. As for ministers, I'm kind of scared, because what I heard is that for the ministry, with internal affairs, you can subsidize people, and that costs money, and it increases Republic loyalty, but it also increases corruption. And we have a good economy, so we can definitely do this. We can handle the corruption, I think, if we're doing Grecian, but I'm not sure. I think we want to have just a little bit more of a economic standing before we do that. And let's quickly look through otherwise. Alright, so one thing I do want to do later, send weapons to Afghanistan so we can get the control back up, because I haven't done anything with them. I want to also maybe take care to make sure that food, the essential commodities, and then luxuries are taken care of. The luxuries aren't black, so I hope that means that they're fine enough. And then also there's labor laws, but the problem with labor laws is that I need 100 political points just to open this up. And that's kind of a bother. So for right now, we're just going to go forward and hope that things don't collapse. Occupation of Kuwait. After getting a huge debt, 40% of which is owed to Kuwait, I'm going to assume that's Irani, government decided to begin invasion and occupation of Kuwait and its oil deposits. The UN Security Council is preparing to impose sanctions against Iraq. Oh, it's Iraq, including an Iraqi oil embargo. We're gonna support Iraq. We vetoed the decision of the Security Council and supported the socialistic Iraq against totalitarian Kuwait regime. And it did take away our money a little bit. Yeah, no, this is not looking too good. So I don't know what the medical thing is, so let's just hope that that's how you stop putting the pressure on. And otherwise, we are going to try get some more money. And then actually we are going to send weapons. And we can't. Well, I think we need to wait a little bit then. Ooh, as you can see, protests outside, not very good. Gonna increase other social spending a little more. And corruption increased, that's bad. Oh no, Czechoslovakia wants to exit OWP. Both people and the government are unhappy with your policies. After a series of retirements and protests, the government condemns your policy concerning the Eastern Bloc. And we're gonna just have to send the army. Under pressure, old politicians returned to their positions. Protesters' leaders were arrested. Whew. Still can't send weapons. And we're gonna have a detente, I think. Oh, political opponents. Now we hold stable power thanks to our special services and compromised materials. We can try to remove our political competitors from the top of our Olympus. We're gonna attack the conservatives. Because what I read is that the conservatives are left. But the problem is that they are more Brezhnev, and so they don't want to really cooperate with Stalinists. So we definitely want to take them down a notch. If someone that you handle, you deal with, and you can make a coalition with, but as soon as you don't really need them, you don't want them backstabbing you. Conservative figures are being weakened. Now, does that also mean that figures are here? Yes. So these were weakened. Romanov and Grishin both. And keep looking. Still going down with the loyalty. Jeez. Come on, Afghanistan. Come on, let's send you stuff. I can send military aid to Algeria, but I can't send weapons to Afghanistan. Why is that? Maybe it's a higher threshold because it said 40, so I don't know. Jeez, what do we even send this money towards? Probably just more army, I guess. New level of threat, oh no. Because of our aggressive foreign policies, Americans declared about rising of threat levels DEFCON. Today DEFCON became even lower. And the only thing we can do is begin the detente. We can't let it decrease anymore. We're against serving the West, and we can't nuke them. Whoa. Apparently my cat wants me to know something. Jeez. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's meowing, but he should have food, so I won't worry about it right now. What I'm more going to worry about is the fact... Oh, we don't have any political power. That's one thing that I should be worried about, but we also have a bit of gold reserve, so we can take a tiny hit. Maidan, comrade ruler, head of the Supreme Council of Ukraine SSR, remained loyal to, refused to organize the referendum of the Ukraine status. After that appeal, Ukraine went to the streets and began protests. The head asked you to resolve this crisis. We're gonna have to use the police squads. After the arrival of the police, protesters provoked conflicts with it. After confrontation, opposition scattered was destroyed. But is it for long? I can hope it's for a while. I can certainly hope. Ooh, ecology is starting to decrease a little bit. Can we do any more military aid? Yes, we can. And so, let's see. Can we send weapons? Nope. That's bad. And we're gonna put a little bit more money into ecology, I guess, because that should increase a little bit the loyalty. Didn't serve, you are the man. A group of economists, together with a part of the party apparatus, suggested to cancel the compulsory conscription. The Marxists think that the conscription during peacetime is used not to defend our motherland, but to suppress individuality. Economists add, army eats a lot of money, and it would be wise to send to other economy sectors. While it can also improve our relations with the West, generals predict spreading of anti-Soviet ideas among the youth. What should we do? I mean, yeah, we definitely don't want the individuality, because the heroes of socialism are an important thing. But we don't want people to get selfish and greedy, because we definitely need to have the people all working together. And one of the things is that we need people in the army, so we need a militarized society, or we don't do anything. This might cost a lot of money, but we're going to militarize. Today, militarization of the society in USSR was strengthened and lists of people relieved from the service was narrowed. It hurt the economy, but generals in our defense as well as our power are strengthening. You know, we need to decrease some spending, I think, though maybe not. Said weapons. Oh, we did it. There we go. That's very good. So let's look again and see. Grishin still not really decreasing except for the event. So do tell me if the medical thing is supposed to be something else. I assume that's just how you stop with what you're doing and putting the pressure. Now, one thing I do want to go over the last few minutes of this video. Our science is increasing quite a bit. And I have had to take my away from science, but OGAS, or ASAS, the all-state, actually I forget what the full thing was. The all-state automated system? I'm not sure, but essentially it would be the Soviet internet. It was to be that it was central, so that Moscow would have a giant central receiver, which would be kind of the mainframe of the entire thing, and then there would be hundreds of smaller things scattered around bigger cities, and then there'd be whole thousands of just tiny little places scattered around where it was deemed necessary. And so this was going to be huge because, of course, with a centrally planned economy, the main problem is that you can't get information together very quickly. And telephones definitely helped quite a bit, but if this would have gotten the funding that needed, we probably would have seen the Soviet Union continue. But I'm not really sure, because the makers of OGAS wanted to be more decentralized, and kind of worried it would take away from the more authoritarian nature of the dictatorship of the proletariat. And I don't know if I talked about that, but dictatorship of the proletariat kind of goes like this, as far as I remember. The political power goes to the workers, the proletariat, and the police are an instrument of the ruling class to suppress their opponents. And that's just a fact. And so if the workers are in control, then the workers use the police to try and crush the dissidents who want to bring back capitalism. So kind of need rigidity there, kind of need some authoritarianism in my opinion, but what ended up happening was that the Minister of Finance realized, hey, if we have this, then the need for statistics is going to increase. The Department of Statistics is going to be much more powerful than my finance ministry, because who needs paper when you can just have this internet system and just have electronic currency through everything? So it was shot down, And it was also because I forget which people it was, but there were two very influential people. I think one of them was the general secretary or the premier, whatever you want to call it, of the Soviet Union, who would have probably supported. They weren't there because they didn't want to go against the rest of their ministry. That's why I remember, at least, because I did read up on it a couple of weeks ago. Oh well, I'm happy we managed to do this video. And I don't know when the next one's going to come because I still have blackouts happen every once in a while, so I'll see you in the next video whenever that comes. Thanks for watching.